So finally my Bluey plushie is coming in handy. I got these Bluey plushies from Amazon and their arms were sewn to their sides and I decided to cut them and let their arms be free. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but that's what I did with mine. Let me know what you did with yours down below. Hey everyone, welcome back to my second channel where I make shorter, less in-depth videos about whatever's on my mind, and today I want to talk about Bluey. I've been a fan of Bluey for the past 6 months or so as I began watching it with my own little kid. I was trying to find quality TV for us to watch together, and Bluey is always talked about so highly and with good reason. It's specifically geared towards little kids aged between 2 to 8 years old, but really it's for families and little kids to watch together as a lot of the episodes are dedicated to the adults watching and the adult characters. And that's honestly why I personally like it so much, because it's able to strike that perfect balance in being childish and entertaining for little kids while still being mature enough for parents and older children to enjoy. And among all these CGI BS out there on YouTube Kids and even Netflix Kids, I can't recommend it enough. So in this video, I'll briefly describe the basic plot and then list out my top 5 favorite episodes just for fun. And if you're already a fan of Bluey, I'm sure you have some idea of people's favorite episodes, or at least the most talked about episodes, like when they handled death with the budgie in Copycat, or even infertility in the episode onesies. But though those are great episodes and you should check them out, they're not on this list, but again, you should check those episodes out too. So without further ado, let's go. Bluey takes place in a universe populated by dogs, specifically dogs living in Australia. The main family, the Healers, are a family of Australian cattle dogs. Bandit and Chili are the father and mother. Bluey is the 6-year-old daughter who later turns 7, and they also have another daughter named Bingo who's 4 but turns 5 in season 2. Each episode is 7 minutes and delves into either a lesson about childhood, a lesson about parenting, but more often than not, both simultaneously, where the parents learn from the children and vice versa. My personal favorite episodes, however, are usually just the slice of life episodes where they just show a tidbit of one of the characters' lives and ruminate on it. I especially love how there are Bluey episodes that don't have any resolution, and how they're able to just know when to leave something open-ended and not give the audience all the answers. So to go off that, number 5 on this list is a tie between Stickbird and Turtle Boy. Both of these episodes aren't given clean resolutions. Stickbird is an episode where we learn how to deal with negative emotions, and Bandit, the dad, is having a hard time playing with his kids because he's angry and upset about something, but doesn't tell us what it is. We just see him towards the end of the episode removing all of the upset and the anger and throwing it at the ocean, and I just found that to be really profound. Next, Turtle Boy is similar in that there's this turtle toy that got left at the park, and Bingo and another dog who's also deaf and uses sign language both play with Turtle Boy, but never at the same time. They both want to take Turtle Boy home, but resolve to leave him at the park for his owner to one day find, and we never see who the owner is. I personally think that's just so brilliant, because they could have so easily shown the owner of Turtle Boy at the end to give us a clean resolution, but it's left open-ended, and I just really like that. My next favorite episode is Cafe, where Bluey and her dad go to the park each morning and meet another father, Fido, and his kid, Winnie. Whereas Bluey and Winnie are just able to start playing and become fast friends, the episode focuses on how hard it is to make friends as adults, and how even if your kids are friends, that doesn't mean that automatically you become friends with the kids' parents. It's not until Fido and Bandit let loose and become less self-conscious that they're able to admit their friendship and that they want to become friends. Bandit talks about how adult friendships are weird, and how as adults we're more wary about who we let into our lives, whereas with kids, they're open to being friends with anyone who's kind to them in return. Number 3 on this list is Pass the Parcel, or as I like to call it, Lucky's Dad's Rules.
We're doing Lucky's Dad's Rules! Hooray!
Did I say hooray?
I love this episode so much because it starts out with this grumpy dad, Lucky's dad, Pat, complaining about how this generation is too soft because everyone gets a present in Pass the Parcel. So for his son Chucky's birthday, he decides that there's only going to be one present in the game, so there's only one winner. At first, the parents and the kids really hate this. The kids cry and the parents think it's mean. However, later, a lot of the kids begin to like this idea that there's only one prize, and the game becomes more fun because it's more surprising. Who will win? Unfortunately, Bingo never wins, but as her mom says, she becomes better and better at losing and being happy for others when they win. And of course, in the end, Bingo does end up winning on her birthday. It's honestly such a well done episode because though it does take the more conservative side of like we're raising a nation of squibs and everyone is so soft, etc., it actually does show the benefits of not having everyone win and how that helps kids regulate themselves and learn patience and to be happy for others when they win. It tells parents that sometimes taking the more difficult route where you have to deal with your kids' negative emotions of losing is worth it because it actually does teach life lessons and empathy. Of course, on a small scale with Pass the Parcel, I think this lesson really works when the kids aren't really competing against each other but just passively passing around a present. I think in another situation, this might not work as well. In the end, the idea that not everyone gets something does have its merits, and not because kids are too babied nowadays, but rather that there is a benefit of losing, and that's important. Number 2 on this list is Born Yesterday. I think about this episode at least once a day because it's just such a good lesson for parents. Like most Bluey episodes, it starts out with being a lesson for the kids, but in the end, it's both the kids and the parents that benefit from the outcome. Bluey wants explanations for unspoken social rules like why you don't take pictures of people's butts, so Bandit acts as if he was born yesterday, where Bluey needs to teach him things that you can and can't do. Hijinks ensue, but towards the end of the episode he realizes how beautiful the world is if you act as if you were born yesterday, when the earth was new to you and you weren't weighed down by how cruel the world can be. Where you just sit and appreciate nature and all the earth has given you. How even the tiniest organisms help give you life, and it's just so beautiful. I think about this episode daily to remind myself to appreciate how amazing nature is, and it also helps to view your child like this too. Imagine if you were born yesterday or were just 2 years into living on this pale blue dot. There's so much to take in, so much beauty, and not just stuff to learn, but stuff to appreciate. And it's so easy to miss or forget how the world was when you were a kid. Before we get to number 1, here are just a few honorable mentions. First off, there's Rain, just a beautifully illustrated and silent episode that lets the art speak for itself. It's like the BoJack Horseman episode Fish Out of Water, it's that good. Next is Baby Race, where Chili recounts how as a new mom she was constantly comparing herself and her baby Bluey to others in the Mommy and Me class, and how Coco's mom Bella tells her how great of a job she's doing, and it's just so sweet. I think all parents need to hear that at least once in a while, especially in the baby stage. Lastly, there's the episode Puppets, where in the last minute or so we see Bluey herself as a puppet. They break the fourth wall and actually show how Bluey is animated, and it's so cool to see. I think especially for kids, I think they would really enjoy this part and it might help them get into art. And for us as adults, they show all the labor that it takes to make the show that we take for granted. So I'm glad that the artists were able to get some screen time and show how much care and effort it takes to produce this show that we all love so much. So my number 1 favorite Bluey episode is Camping. I love this episode so much, mainly because I'm a sucker for the lost love stories like 5 centimeters per second, and though they are just kids and not like loves or in love, even though people do ship them and I'm aware of that, I just like to think that their friendship can transcend time, space, and language, and it's just so beautiful. So basically in this episode, Jean-Luc and Bluey are camping buddies, even though Jean-Luc speaks French and Bluey doesn't. They don't know what they're saying to each other, but that doesn't stop them from playing together, planting a tree, playing pranks on Bluey's dad, etc. However, one day Jean-Luc says he's going to be leaving and going back home, but of course Bluey can't understand him, so when she wakes up the next day, his tent is gone and she's left sad and confused. But instead of leaving it open-ended like in Stickbird or Turtle Boy, they actually do a time jump and show them reuniting at the same campsite years later, and Jean-Luc introduces himself in English, and it literally just made me cry. That did more for me than Past Lives did. Sorry. It's just so perfectly illustrated and paced, and I don't know, maybe I'm basic, but I loved this story. So that's it for my Bluey rant. Go watch it if you haven't already. I know if you don't have kids, it might be a little unrelatable to you, But if you want to reminisce about how childhood was or see childhood through a new perspective, it's definitely worth a watch. One criticism that I do have of the show before I end this is that there aren't any like mixed breed dogs in the show. They're all pure breeds. And also I have a question, are you only allowed to marry within your own breed? There's been over 100 episodes and I think they never showed a single mixed breed dog, but let me know if I'm wrong. Alright, that's it for this one. Bingo saying bye. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.